Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for joining today's session. This is Jason, and we're going to keep going with our session 4. Okay, so let's just jump in. All right, now it's so good to be here with you guys. Now let's just get started. All right, so session 4, as I mentioned in the previous one, we have a few integrations left. We're just going to figure them out in today's session. So let's have a look with the first one. The first one I'm going to talk about is going to be the integration with Microsoft Teams, which is so popular, and I'm pretty sure lots of customers they're willing to have a such a solution like this. The good thing here is P-Series system, it does support such a solution. Now let's just have a look on the integration. Okay. Well, to be very honest, first of all, guys, I don't have Microsoft 365 user account, so I might not going to be able to show you guys with the live demo of Microsoft 365 with Teams. Anyway, but I got a few pages here, a couple of screenshots here. Hopefully this could be clear as well. Now let's just have a look. So first thing first, how does it look like, this integration solution? I guess the entire solution can be simplified by this. You guys can just have a quick look here. This integration basically means if we figure out integration with Microsoft Teams, then the solution will be like you're actually going to be able to use your Microsoft Teams application, let's see Teams application on your mobile or your computer, whatever, to work as one of your regular extension registered on the P-Series PBX. That's it, guys. That's just the entire solution. That's what it looked like. Pretty simple. That's what it looks like. We're just going to turn Microsoft Teams to be as one of our extension registered on the P-Series PBX. So that's it. And next step, you're simply going to use your Microsoft Teams for whatever you prefer, right? You're going to use Teams for collaboration, not a problem. And the most important thing here is this time you will be able to use your Teams to start a call. So you can use your Microsoft Teams to make a call directly with some of your colleagues who's using IP phones or who's using Linux mobile client, whatever, because they're all registered on the same platform, the same telephony system, which is P-Series system. And also, by the way, we're going to be able to use Microsoft Teams to make an external call to reach our customers. And the point is, we're not going to make an individual call, guys. That's not a personal call. That's going to be a company call, absolutely, because we're going to send a call out of the P-Series system by using our chunk to reach out our customer. So in other words, on the other side, our customers, they will be able to get the incoming call sent from your PBX with the company phone number. That's what it looks like. Okay, so let's talk about the details of this integration. Now, by the way, as you guys can see, this integration is based on public network connection, absolutely, because Microsoft Teams, that's cloud-based, right? Especially the Office 365. This is totally cloud-based. Well, our P-Series system is actually, it's on-premise, right? So it's something you're going to deploy in your office, in your local area network. Now, when we try to figure out the integration, we're supposed to use the public network, right? We're going to figure this out. But you guys can see, I never drop anything about port forwarding or public IP address on this photo. Why? Because we don't need it. We don't even need to use the port forwarding or static IP address, whatever. We don't need it. We're just going to use something I mentioned a couple of times before, which is going to be the RAS, Remote Access Service. It just gives us this encrypted private tunnel, the FQDN. Anyway, let's talk about the details. Here we go. So first thing first, before we start the integration, I guess a couple of things we need to be a little bit careful. It's going to be this, the preparation work, right? So if you truly want to figure out the integration with Microsoft Teams, then you absolutely need to give it a check on your Microsoft 365 user account, all right? Whatever it is, you just take a look there. See if it's possible for you to make it work, all right? Because, Microsoft, they have so many options, right? They provide customers so many licenses. So what you're supposed to do first is you're supposed to take a look at the license you have there. All right, make sure your license is capable for figuring out this integration. Now, for example, if we're using Microsoft 365 Business Basic, Business Standard, or Business Premium, or even Office 365 E1, E3, Microsoft 365 E3 license. Anyway, we're supposed to get some licenses. All right, it depends on which version you have there. You will probably need to get the license like a common area phone license, or probably phone system license, or even Microsoft 365 Business Voice add-on. As for which one exactly are we gonna purchase additionally, it just totally depends on which version we have from Microsoft. So this is something we need to be a little bit careful. Well, if we're using Office 365 E5 or Microsoft 365 E5 license, well, good for you. No additional requirements, because I'm pretty sure E5 will be really expensive, right? That's the reason. So if we are using E5 right now, well, we can just move forward to the next step directly, okay? Then the next step is we're supposed to purchase one more application on the Microsoft, I guess it's called AppSource. We're going to jump into the AppSource to purchase another application, which is called Yeastar for Microsoft Teams. We need to purchase the license for this application on the AppSource. Okay, so well, you know, guys, AppSource is more like an app store for Microsoft. So you're supposed to jump into the AppSource, get this one, Yeastar for Microsoft Teams. Now, what is this? All right, so you probably get a question right now is, what is this? What is this Yeastar for Microsoft Teams? This application, is that provided by Yeastar? Oh, well, let me just explain something here, guys. This application is actually provided by third party, not provided by Yeastar. I mean, even this is called Yeastar for Microsoft Teams, but it's provided by the third party, by our partner, by our certified partner, Qnify. So Qnify is actually the provider for this. They provide customers this application, and they will charge customers this application additionally. I guess the license will be annual subscription based, so not very expensive, but customers, they're supposed to purchase this application annually to subscribe it, get this license. This is like a middleware, to be very honest. This is just like a middleware. It's like the bridge which help us to figure out the connection. Okay, so this is what it is. All right, this is exactly what it is. Now let's just keep going to the next step. Now, next step here will be a few tips here. Now, a few tips here, you guys can see the port forwarding, I also mentioned it here. So it means if you prefer to use the traditional way for figuring out this integration, the answer is we can still do it. All right, so if you got a public IP address configured on your router, you want to make port forwarding for your P-Series PBX, then you're going to use the public IP address with map to port for this integration. Can we make it? Yeah, we can still do it. We will just need to configure port forwarding, NAT configuration. But to be very honest, guys, we don't suggest you guys to do it. Even this is possible, but we just don't suggest you to do it. All right, because you know, anytime if you open the port on your router for the mapping, I mean, it's gonna be a big risk. All right, so for a security reason, we truly suggest you guys, please don't do this. All right, please just use the FQDN directly. If you use the FQDN, the configuration will be much easier and it will be more secure. Absolutely. Okay. Now, I guess we're clear about this part. Now let's keep going. So keep going with the next step. This is how it looks like once you get the application from AppSource, which is Yeastar for Microsoft Teams. All right, get this application, and then later on, because it's just based on your AppSource, right? So you will simply need to use your Microsoft user account, jump into this configuration portal. I mean, this application, you will get the configuration portal once you get the license. So use your user account, jump into the configuration portal, and here you go. You guys can see, welcome to the Call to Teams wizard. So this is just the tool, like I said. Officially, the name is called Yeastar for Microsoft Teams. Well, when you try to use the tool is actually called Call to Teams, the middleware, like I said. Then we're just gonna go click on Check My Tenant. This is what we're supposed to do for this step. Then let's move to the next step. So move to the next step, we're just gonna check all this one by one, number 1, number 2, number 3. Anyway, make sure all this are totally well configured. You know, get yourself be prepared with all this. Like I said, your license, your preparation, anyway, just fix all of them. All right, then we're gonna go click on next, move to the next step. So next step will be this. We're supposed to add the SIP server for the Microsoft Teams, which is gonna be the Call to Teams actually, because we cannot figure out the integration with Teams directly. Well, as for why, here's the reason. Here's the reason. The reason why we cannot integrate with Microsoft Teams directly, because Microsoft, they got a series of requirements for this integration. If you try to figure out this integration directly with Microsoft Teams, I mean, technically you're supposed to get yourself ready with an SBC, and that SBC must be Microsoft certified SBC. Which is going to be extremely expensive, and the configuration is based on command lines. It's so complicated, not user-friendly at all. That's why usually people, they don't choose this way for figuring out the integration with Microsoft Teams directly. That's why usually in the market, you can find 9 times out of 10, people are going to use the middleware for figuring out the integration. That's it. This is just the reason. So anyway, whatever it is, if we use the middleware, actually it's the same way, all right, because the middleware is kind of like the representative of Microsoft Teams. That's it. It's just the same thing. It's much easier. It's simpler because the middleware, it's certified SBC by Microsoft. Absolutely. So we can just use it directly. Why not? We will just need to pay for it. Not that expensive, but it will get our job easier. And then here, we're just going to add the SIP server, like I said. So for your Microsoft Teams, for your middleware, whatever, the SIP server will be the PBX. Absolutely. So here, we're going to add our PBX on it. And when you guys click on the drop-down list, you can actually see there are a couple of options provided by Yeastar. Because this integration, it works not only on our P-Series appliance edition, it can also support our cloud edition, our software edition, and even our old solution, which is S-Series PBX, K2 PBX anyway. So all of our Yeastar solutions can be supported by this. But apparently today we're just going to use P-Series system. So in the drop-down list, we will choose Yeastar P-Series VoIP PBX. That's it. Then here you will need to select your country. Now the example here is going to be China. All right, I'm in China now, so country I will use China. And SIP domain, SIP proxy, like I said, our suggestion is going to be the FQDN. What you're supposed to do is simply jump into your P-Series system, enable RES, get the FQDN ready there, copy that FQDN back over here. We're just going to paste it. So that's basically what we're supposed to do for this. Much easier, much simpler, good for security. Everybody's happy. That's it. We don't need to figure out port forwarding anymore. All right, we're just going to use the FQDN directly. Very simple, to be very honest, guys. Then just keep going. All right, so that's the way how we add the SIP server for your Microsoft Teams integration. The next step here, we're just going to sync now. You can see this one. We're going to go click on it, sync the information. That's it. Pretty simple. This is just the preparation work. Now, let's keep going with the next step, which is the most important step. The most important step here will be, well, it's kind of like we've already figured out the SIP server connection, right? The next step is, like I said, we're going to turn, technically, we're just going to turn our Microsoft Teams to be as one of our regular extension, right? So how can we do it? Well, for business users, they have a couple of Teams account, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 10 or 20, who knows, right? So we're just going to simply figure out the Teams integration for every single one of our individual users. That's what we're supposed to do now. So take this as an example. If we take one of our teams, all right. So over here, you can see on the middleware, on the call to Teams application, all right, we will just need to go click on add user, all right. So this user, what is this user information? Just have a look. This is basically means we're going to add a particular extension user information on it. That's also the reason why I mentioned this is kind of like we're just going to turn our Microsoft Teams account to be as one of our regular extension. That's it, because we're going to add the extension information. So which also means simultaneously we're supposed to jump into the Yeastar P-Series PBX. Jump into the P-Series system, go click extension. You're supposed to create a couple of extensions. Depends on how many Microsoft Teams you want to make it be available to use the P-Series system. So see, like if I have 5 users, they're using Teams, and I want to make all of their teams be able to use our P-Series system for making calls. That, in other words, that just means we're going to turn 5 Microsoft Teams accounts to work as 5 regular extensions on the P-Series system. That's it. So we're supposed to create 5 extensions on the P-Series system. We get the extension information. Then back over here, we're just gonna add a particular extension information for figuring out this registration. That's it. So it's kind of like we're gonna register that particular Teams account on the P-Series system to work as an extension. See, you guys can see here. I'm gonna show you here. Wait a second. See this one, this white one, this screenshot. This is actually the way how we create an extension on the P-Series system, right? That's quite clear, right? I'm sorry about this. And you guys can see here, simultaneously on the call to Teams interface, you can see here, we're supposed to enter the SIP username, authentication username, and password, right? So this is exactly the way how we register the phone on the P-Series system, right? That makes sense, right? Okay, now let's just keep going. Okay. All right, as for the next step, will be a few steps based on the Microsoft Teams. Once you figure out the phone registration, well, good for you. You can just check on your P-Series system, see the status. If the status shows you green, all right, that means you just figure out the phone registration successfully. Now, the next step, it will be for the incoming and outgoing costs, something like that, right? So here, we will just need to jump into Microsoft Teams, go click on dial plans. We're gonna need to set a couple of rules there to tell Microsoft Teams how to handle incoming and outgoing costs. So these are all based on Microsoft Teams. So you add a particular dial plan, you will get this one, global. All right, go click on it. Then we're gonna set this particular rule for it. All right, so we add a new dial plan. All right, you can see this is the default dial plan. Rank is 1, name is call to Teams, description is also call to Teams. Anyway, the patterns will be this, right? So you can follow this. You can keep it this way, or you can change it, whatever you prefer. All right, so this is just the way how you're gonna tell your Microsoft to make and receiving costs. Okay, just have a look. Okay, now keep going. Then later on, we're just gonna open our Microsoft Teams. So this is exactly what it looks like with your Teams account, right? So you can just go click on calls there and use this call button to have a call. That's it. So this time we can just make a call to any of our contacts by using the P-Series system. And anytime if we got a call sent from our contacts to the P-Series PBX, well, we will also be able to get a phone ring on Microsoft Teams as well, and you will get the, caller ID, whatever. They're also going to be posted on this. So these are all the steps for figuring out the integration with Microsoft Teams. Okay, now let's keep going. The next one I'm going to talk about here will be the CRM integration. And about the CRM integration, I guess I can share you guys something here. Let me just switch it to the live demo first. I think it's better for me to show you guys something on the P-Series system first. Just make it clear. Let's make this part clear. All right. Because, if you try to figure out the Teams integration, you can figuring out that anytime, because Teams integration requires nothing. All right, guys, it requires no additional license. You got the P-Series basic plan, even the basic plan, you can make it work. You can make that integration work. However, if we're talking about the CRM integration, then you're supposed to go check on the plan. All right, because have a look. CRM integration, as you guys can see, it's actually in the subscription plan. So what's the point? The point is, if you prefer to have the integration with your CRM, all right, then check this. Then you're supposed to subscribe the plan. All right, you're supposed to subscribe the plan. Otherwise, this feature will not going to be available for you to use it. You can choose either enterprise plan or ultimate plan, but the thing is, you're supposed to subscribe the plan for your system to get this feature available. All right. And later on, once we get the plan ready, the next step, if we want to figure out the CRM integration, we can just go click on integrations directly, and you can see the first one will be CRM. That's what it is. So here, you guys can see we support 2 CRMs for the integration. Number 1 is going to be Salesforce. Number 2 is going to be Zoho. These two CRMs are supported by Yeastar. Actually, we got an official cooperation with two of these CRMs. I mean, two providers. We got the official cooperation with two providers. So whichever you prefer depends on our customers. And the thing is, once they figure out the integration, let's just have a look first. What functionalities can we have there? Now, once we figure out the CRM integration, whichever it is, Salesforce or Zoho, we're gonna have the same user experience. Number one, we're gonna have click-to-call features. So anytime if we want to call our contacts based on CRM, we can just go click on it, send this call out, click-to-call. All right. Number two, incoming call pop-up. So anytime if you got an incoming call sent from your CRM contacts, one of your CRM contacts, then your CRM will be popped up automatically. You will also get an incoming call pop-up based on your P-Series system simultaneously. That's the incoming call pop-up. Number three is going to be call journal. So you can also manage your call details based on your CRM. So you don't need to switch it back to your P-Series system to check the call details. Everything will be synced on your CRM. Much easier for you to manage your contacts, to manage the your call history, right? Whatever. And number four, contact synchronization. So your CRM contacts will also be synced on your P-Series system's contacts. That's absolutely what we can do here. So make your contacts management much easier. That's very, very practical, I guess. Okay. Let's see, this question here is, I thought I saw Yeastar can integrate to CRM Bytrix 24. Is that incorrect? Bytrix 24, you mean P-Series system or you mean S-Series PBX? I'm a little bit confused. I guess if we're talking about the S-Series system, probably we can do it because API is supported on the S-Series system. So we can do this integration with other CRMs. But currently on the P-Series system, the CRMs we can support right now is just going to be Salesforce and Zoho officially. And as for other CRMs, you can use AMI. That's one option. And as for API function, I guess it will be supported till the next firmware. So till next time we get the next firmware updated, then we're going to be able to use the API to integrate with other CRMs. Okay. And this year, we're also going to support some other CRMs officially, I mean the official cooperation. So the next one, I guess, is going to be HubSpot. But as for this Bytrix 24, I'm not so sure. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not so sure about this. I guess if this is based on S-Series system, we're going to use API. But if this is for P-Series system, I'm just not that sure. So you guys probably need to check with our sales rep. Okay. I guess you guys can just check with our sales rep for the confirmation about this. All right, because this is more like a custom CRM integration, so I'm not so sure about that. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the question. Thank you. Anyway, let's just get back here. So like I said, 4 major functions are going to be supported, whatever the CRM you choose there. So about this integration, you guys can see we got a user guide. We even got a user guide. So you can go click on user guide. And over here, it just tells you exactly how do you figure out the integration step by step. That's pretty simple. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the user guide. I'm going to switch it back here, talk about something important. So for the CRM integration, a few things you guys need to keep that in your mind. All right. Number one, you will need to subscribe the plan because this feature requires the plan. Number two, this integration requires the FQDN. All right. So if you try to figure out the integration with your Salesforce, your Zoho, anyway, you're not going to use the public IP address with port forwarding. Nope, you're not going to use that. The only thing you're going to use it is going to be FQDN. All right, this is something, you could say this is something tricky, this is something special, but that's it. That's just the only answer. So customers, if they try to do this, then they're supposed to, get the FQDN ready. Then they will just be able to figure out the CRM integration. Okay, so this is what it is. Now let's keep going. Let's just keep going and let's see another question here. Another question here is, do we subscribe to one of the CRM plans through Yeastar or from Salesforce or Zoho? Okay, good question. That's a good point, guys. That's also something I'm about to talk about it. So, CRM service is provided by the third party, like a Zoho, like Salesforce. So absolutely, you're going to purchase from their side. We do not provide you guys Salesforce or Zoho. We only provide you guys this integration solution. Now, as for where can I purchase Salesforce or Zoho, pretty sure you're going to contact the local dealer to purchase Salesforce license or Zoho license. That's what it is. Okay, thank you for the question. And also, by the way, about the Salesforce and Zoho license, a few things are quite important. Keep this in your mind. For Zoho integration, it really doesn't matter which version you have there, which license you have there, because Zoho, they don't have a special requirement. Even the free license, they do provide a free license, right? So even the free license of Zoho can be supported by this integration as well. However, if we're talking about Salesforce, things are a little bit different. For Salesforce license, I guess they only provide you 4 options. Like, wait a second. I think a few licenses are required for you to realize the integration if you choose the Salesforce. Take a look. If you have Enterprise Edition, Unlimited Edition, Developer Edition, and Performance Edition, only these 4 options are going to be available for you to realize the Salesforce integration. Okay. So if we're using the other Salesforce license, you cannot make it because this integration is based on API, and I'm pretty sure Salesforce API license is only available on any of these 4 licenses. That's it. But as for Zoho, things are going to be much easier because they don't have a special requirement. So you can see free, standard, professional, enterprise, or unlimited edition. Any of them can be able to figure out this integration. Okay. And also, by the way, another tips, check this. This integration only supports Zoho CRM. Because Zoho solution, that's a big one. And that's more like a combo. I would like to call this is more like a combo. If you purchase Zoho license, they provide you so many solutions. But the thing here is we can only support CRM integration. If we're using some other things like a Zoho One, Zoho Mail, Zoho Recruit, we do not support that integration. Okay, so this is about the Zoho integration. That's it. Let's get back to the P-Series system. So whichever it is, if you choose the Salesforce, you go click on integration, that's it. Then you can see here we got the callback URL, we got the homepage URL. These are the information you're supposed to take it from our P-Series system for the integration on the Salesforce or on the Zoho. Anyway, then apparently you're gonna get the consumer key and consumer secret from your Salesforce and Zoho. Okay. Let's see, another question here is, if there another subscription from Yeastar to make it work, or just need the enterprise or ultimate plan subscription to make it work? You just need to have the enterprise plan or ultimate plan. That's it. That's the only requirement on Yeastar side. Nothing else. Nothing else, guys. So if you want to make the integration work, you will just need to choose either enterprise plan or ultimate plan on the P-Series system. Then you can just make it. Okay, thank you for the question. Now, as for other steps, they are totally based on Salesforce and Zoho. I guess I'm going to show you guys a couple of pages, a couple of screenshots I got here. Let's see the configuration here. So if we're using Zoho, for example, this configuration is just like I said, we're going to enable Zoho integration. Like I said, we're going to get the information from our PBX. Then we're supposed to jump into Zoho for a few things. We're supposed to jump into Zoho, go click on API console to get the information we need. All right, so I got a few screenshots. Take a look. These are the things you're supposed to do on the Zoho interface. All right, so get the secret, the key, authorize the key, whatever you call it. You just get the thing there. Then back on the P-Series system, drop it on the system. So that's the way how we figure out the identification between P-Series system and the Zoho. Zoho, I guess, is much easier. However, if we're talking about Salesforce, that will be a little bit complicated. Have a look. I'm going to show you guys a few screenshots here. So this is how it looks like when we try to configure Salesforce. To be very honest, I'm not a big fan of Salesforce. I know it's quite professional Salesforce solution, but the user experience it's a little bit complicated for me. All right, but anyway, take a look. So if you try to use the integration with Salesforce, then you're supposed to go jump into your Salesforce, go click on Setup, and you're gonna go click on this New Connected App. It will be a little bit tricky here, a few more steps there. And you're supposed to enter a few parameters here, like app name. Now we can probably name it as Yeastar PBX, whatever. Drop the contact email address there. All right. Then the next step, this will be really complex. We're supposed to select a couple of, oath right over here. So a couple of things are required. As you guys can see here, you can probably take a screenshot now, or you guys can also check on our website. We got the video tutorials. I'm sorry, we get the documentation on the website as well. So a few steps there you're supposed to handle on your Salesforce. And not finished yet. Here we need to back to the main menu. We're supposed to go click on Manage, and over here we're supposed to go click on Edit Policies. Then here, all users may self-authorize. Choose this one. Just choose this one. And then the next step, we click on View. All right, just go click on View. Then you're gonna wait for a couple of minutes actually when you go click on View there. And like I said, if your license, it's one of the supported license, like I said, well, you click on View, you probably just need to wait for a few minutes. Or if you want to have a free trial, you want to use the Salesforce trial license, it probably will take like over 10 minutes to activate this integration. That's what it is. Okay, and later on, we're just going to get the consumer key and consumer secret from Salesforce, then drop it on the P-Series system for figuring out the integration. So that's it. Then this is how it looks like once you figure out the integration. Okay. All right, now let's keep going. Another one we're going to talk about in today's session will be the integration with Hikvision and Dahua, some other third-party intercoms. About this part, I would like to talk about it on the live demo directly. So just give me a few seconds. Let's switch it back on the live demo. Let's talk about the integration with intercoms. Okay. So back on our P-Series system. Now, first of all, let's talk about the integration. How does it look like? If we're using some third-party endpoints, let's see the intercoms, right? Or speakers, SIP speakers, anyway. If you want to figure out the integration, actually, it's not a big deal. It's more like a device registration because those endpoints are IP-based and they can support SIP. And to be very honest, we got the cooperation with those providers. So pretty sure get a pretty good compatibility with those devices. Now, what you're supposed to do at the very beginning is you can simply jump into your P-Series system, create a couple of extensions there, and you will just need to register those endpoints on our P-Series system to work as a regular extension. That's the integration itself. That's what it is. We're just going to figure out the registration first. That's it. And as for how can we make the integration works, how can we make the solution be dynamic? Well, not a big deal. Go click on Call Features. Like I said, the preparation work is we're going to figure out the device registration, right? Register those hardwares on our P-Series system. That's the step one. That's the preparation work. And the next step will be this. We're just going to use this particular feature, which is paging and intercom for making it. Let's have a look. Go click on Add. Here you guys can see the type here. We give you guys three options. We got a one-way paging, one-way multicast paging, and two-way intercom. So let's talk about them one by one. If we choose one-way paging, this feature, mostly we're going to use it for broadcast. Mostly we're going to use this for SIP speakers. So if you have, let's say you got a 20 SIP speakers and you fix all of them in your building, in the school, right? Let's see, elementary school. So I just want to play announcement to kids. What now? Now I will just need to create a paging group here, and I choose one-way paging. And then I will just need to select those registered devices, which are SIP speakers in the list. And if I want to play the announcement, I can simply grab my phone, make a call to this paging group number, which is 6604, and then I can just talk. Then those speakers are going to play the announcement to kids. So this is the way how I'm going to do it. All right, pretty simple. And a very, very typical application scenario will be school. They probably just want to play music, or I guess it's called bell rings, bell rings. I'm sorry, bell rings. Sometimes we just want to play bell rings to kids, right? So what now? Now you can do something here, the prompt. All right, so for the bell rings, it's not a big deal. We can just get a prompt, simulate the bell rings with some, data. I mean, digital. We can just digitize it, the simulation, right, for the bell ring, because we're not going to use the analog bell. We're not going to use the traditional metal bell. We're actually going to use the audio file. Anyway, then the thing is, we can just upload the prompt here, and next time we start this broadcast, then this prompt will be played to kids automatically. We're just going to play the bell ring or music, whatever it is. That's it. And another deal here is going to be this, schedule paging. So like I said, if this is the bell ring, like school's time's out, 4:00 p.m., we just want to play the bell ring automatically. What now? Now we can set a schedule. So you don't even need to grab your phone for playing it manually. You can just set a schedule there, and the system will just follow the schedule you have here, play the bell ring to kids automatically. This is the way how we handle this. All right, now back to the paging here. Another solution here. Another solution here is going to be one-way multicaster paging. So what's the difference? The one-way multicaster paging is quite special. This is totally different comparing with one-way paging. One-way paging, you guys know it. That's kind of like a multiple parties. They just start this concurrent call together, right? So which means multiple concurrent calls will be taken on our system, all right? Because when you start this broadcast, a bunch of endpoints are going to be they're just going to be taking part in this broadcast. That will be a call, actually. That will be multiple concurrent calls. However, if we choose one-way, if we choose one-way multicaster paging, that means the broadcaster will send a call. We'll actually send this call. We'll send the broadcast, whatever, to this multicaster channel. That means this is not going to be a call, guys. This is going to be a couple of data packets sent to a particular destination, and other terminals are going to go access this particular channel to get the message. So this is not a call, guys. This is not a SIP call. Absolutely not a SIP call. This is more like a computer communication. That's it. So you guys just go access that destination, get the message you need. So that's the difference. All right. And the third one we have here will just be two-way intercom. Like I said, you got a Hikvision or Dahua or some other brands, whatever, the intercoms, you can just fix those intercoms anywhere, whatever you prefer, like indoor station, outdoor station, anyway. Then the thing is, this time if we put all of them together with our telephony system, the solution can be like this. So if I get a visitor now, and I'm not going to be able to open the door directly for him, so what now? Now I can actually use one of my IP phone to open the door directly by using feature code, or I can even use my mobile client to open the door directly because we have Lincoln's mobile client. So that's a remote access control. Pretty cool, all right? So this is kind of like the access request will be translated to a call, right? It's definitely going to be a call. So previously, the traditional way for access control is like I just ring the bell. That's just the access request. That's what I call it, access request. But now you're not just ringing the bell. You're actually starting a call from my endpoint A, which is the intercom, going through my PBX to my phone, to my mobile client. Then I can choose to open the door for you. Absolutely. I can use featured code, whatever. Or maybe I'm not going to open the door for you. I can just check with you directly. I just want to figure out who's there, who's out there. And I can tell you probably I'm not going to be able to open the door right now. You can probably wait for a couple of hours. Who knows? Anyway, so that will be a very functional solution for this. But I guess this will be very popular for some projects. Once again, usually people might not use this solution a lot, but if we're looking for a project, a dynamic solution for this comprehensive project, I guess this will be a pretty good choice. a very good solution for it. Okay. All right, so guys, I guess that was all we have for today's session. Please have a look, see if there's any questions, anything else. You guys can drop it in the question box. By the way, thank you so much for your time. And as usual, I'm gonna collect your feedback, so please send us your feedback. Guys, any other questions? Please have a look. All right, got this one. It's the two-way intercom for mounting door phones on system and making two-way conversation. Is there a particular brand door phone to use? Yes, sure. The particular brand will be Hikvision, like I said, Hikvision and Dahua. This is the official cooperation between Yeastar and BAM. This is Hikvision. Let me just send it to you guys. This is brand number 1. Brand number 2 will be Dahua. This is gonna be number 2. And number 3, I guess maybe you guys may see also there's some options in the market, which is Fanville, right? Fanville, they also get the door phone, so it's also supported. And as for other brands, I guess we also support some other brands. I guess in European countries we have some supported models like a 2N. I'm not so sure you guys may heard about it or not. It's called 2N. That's also supported. It's this one, 2N. Wait a second. So anyway, all the endpoints, if they can support SIP, then technically there's no problem for us to make it work. And if you guys have some other choices, other options, anyway, you can just send the feedback to our sales reps or our tech support. They can help you guys to give it a test. All right. But like I said, technically, if your endpoint can't support SIP, then there's no problem for us to figure this out. Yeah, that's right. Basically, if it's a SIP door phone, we should be okay. That's right. You're right. It's just a SIP-based door phone. It will be supported. Not a problem. Because, you know, theoretically, all this are based on SIP. So it's pretty simple. We can just register that door phone on the PBX as an extension. Okay. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you for the question. Thank you for your feedback, by the way. Now, please have a look, see if there's anything else, any other questions. All right, got another question here is, do I define the digit to dial to open the door? Oh, that's a good question. If you guys choose one of our brands I just mentioned, like Hikvision or Dahua or even Fanville, I think there are some presets. There are some preset buttons you can just use it. Some preset digits you can use it directly. However, if you are using some other third-party door phones, as for the digit configuration, then probably we need to customize it. You guys will just need to check with our tech support. They can help you to handle this. All right. Now, if you guys are choosing one of our supported brand, we can just use the preset. Let's see this one. Okay, if there a video in Portal that we can review this week's sessions, yes, sure. This webinar will be recorded. I guess pretty soon I'm gonna upload the recorded webinar on our website, so you guys can even get the video tutorial on our website, yeastar.com, and you can find Yeastar Academy. Go access there. You can get the video tutorials. Which is recorded webinar. Okay. Thank you for the question. So anything else, guys? Please have a look. Okay, all right, thank you guys. So that was, I guess that was all we have for today's session. Once again, thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you for joining, and have a nice day and take care. I will catch you guys in the next one.